Today we'll be building a Rayhunter device. A Rayhunter device is nothing more than a hotspot that has a custom firmware on it that would be going and pulling cell phone towers and making sure that they're legit and not the government trying to suck up your data through a fake tower and then use against you in the court of law. That's a really big rabbit hole that we'll probably not go down in this video, maybe another video. Anyway, so why would you want one of these? If you care about your privacy, if you care about the things that are going on in the world, and you care about who is monitoring you, then you should have one of these. It's a project that will cost you about $45 to $50 and will take you less than 30 minutes if you follow the directions in this video, which I hope you do. And I also hope that you like this video and subscribe to this channel, but that's up to you. If you want to skip through the video where we start installing it, you're more than welcome to. Timestamps are down below. What is a Rayhunter device? Rayhunter is a custom firmware on these hotspots. They're old Verizon hotspots created by the Electronic Frontier Foundation, basically a group that's advocating for free speech, advocating for you to know your rights as an American citizen or a person living in America, which is awesome. Anybody that's advocating for freedom of speech and all that stuff has 2 thumbs up in my book. So how does Stingrays work? And I'm glad that you asked, even though you probably didn't. A Stingray device basically goes up in a tower, or it might be in a van, or it might be somewhere. Basically, there's antennas, and it will go and emulate a cell tower. What it will do is it will take that information when they're emulating it and collect that data, funnel it through them, and then pass it over to the AT&T, T-Mobile, Verizon, whoever other towers. Or it might not even pass it on. It might just look like you're trying to make a call and the call never goes through because it's hitting a cell tower that's not existent. While it's hitting that tower, the information that's being collected is your IMEI number or your identifier. Could be your phone number, your destination, who you're calling or who you're texting. And I don't know what else it collects. It could be collecting a lot more. However, once again, I'm just a noob. I like this type of stuff. I don't know the details. If you do, please let us know and cultivate this community of sharing this type of knowledge. It'll work like a hotspot if you have a hotspot plan, which you need at least a minimum plan in order for it to work. Once again, there's a link to an Amazon SIM card and it's like 7, 8, 10 bucks. And then there's a little green bar on top. If that green bar turns red, that means that at some point you were hit by one of these devices or there's a device in your area. If you think J6, and I'm not gonna go down that rabbit hole, there were confirmed Stingray devices in that whole area during the events that went down. It's a really cool device. It's a very low cost, low effort project, and I hope that you enjoy it. So let's go and install it. The only 2 things that you need for this project, or 3, I guess, your hotspot, you will need a SIM card to go into the hotspot, and then a laptop and a USB-C cable, which I'm sure you probably have. Okay, if you made it this far into the video, first of all, thank you. And I just want to ask you to check out my Patreon. See if the stuff that's offered there is interesting to you. I'm trying to do a monthly giveaway to the Patreon members, something like this radio, a solar Meshtastic node, access to my private ATAC server, and all that fun stuff. So if that interests you, I hope that you check it out. That way we can fund these projects because I have too many hobbies and they're getting very expensive and my wife's getting mad. All right, let's get back to it. Let's get started. We're gonna crack open the back of the hotspot, take the battery out, and install our SIM card just like that. Make sure the SIM card is facing the right direction. There's a picture there to guide you because there's a little notch on one of the corners. Make sure that it's facing the right direction. Close it up, put your battery back in, and then power it on and connect a USB cable from the hotspot to your computer. There's a link in the description for your download file. I'm using a Windows computer, so I'm downloading the x86 Windows file right there, and it's getting saved to my downloads folder. Extract it there. I'm assuming you know how to do that. Once it's extracted, navigate into it, and then type in PowerShell in the navigation bar, just like this. This will open PowerShell in the proper directory, your installation directory. And the next step is getting our command ready and then connecting. So there's a command in the description. You can just copy it, paste it into a notepad file. You're gonna need to go into your hotspot and find your password. It's fairly easy to do. Just click a few buttons and you'll find the password. It's alphanumeric, and my password will be right here. So that's what it looks like. Unless somebody changed it, I don't think anybody did. Copy the first command, copy your password, and just make the full command. Next, before you paste that command to your PowerShell, make sure that you're connected to your hotspots Wi-Fi. That is this Verizon RC400L, whatever. Make sure that you're connected, then take your command, paste it in, click enter, and you are now installing Rayhunter. Very simple. This takes a few seconds, not long at all. Once you see that command or that blinking cursor, you're installed. You're gonna get a welcome screen on your hotspot. It's gonna go through a hello, a Verizon page, and then after a few seconds, you'll actually see a green bar on the top of your screen, which is good. That means that everything's installed properly. It does take a second, so give it time. It's not immediate. There we go. And once you see that, you can go to 192.168.1.1 over port 8080, and that is your console for Rayhunter. Okay, so if you're at the point where you see the Rayhunter kind of console screen on your computer, you went to 192.168.1.1, congratulations, you installed everything properly. If you don't get that, comment down below, we can try to troubleshoot it together, see what we can figure out. But that console screen is very important because that's where you're gonna go if your green bar turns red. That means that something was detected, an anomaly from the regular service that's all around us, and a log was captured, which is great because now you're actually alert that, okay, wherever I was at the time, something happened, therefore my little line is red. And that's about it. If you didn't get a successful installation, comment down below, what did you get, what's the issue and whatnot, and we can try to figure out together, or the people down below, hopefully you can help out also. So thanks for watching, subscribe, love you, bye.